Welcome to a look at Cheyenne Frontier Days from your daddy of them all station, CBS News Colorado. It is the 126th year for Cheyenne Frontier Days, and over more than a century, the rodeo and festival have grown to larger than ever. There is truly something for everyone. Bull riding, barrel racing, incredible fair food, and concerts with some of the greatest country stars. The fair opened up Friday morning, July 22nd, and runs through the 31st, and we were there bright and early to help unroll the festivities on CBS 4 Mornings. Mackenzie O'Keefe was there live all morning long and shows us what we can expect the rest of the event.
We are here at the daddy of them all. Cheyenne Frontier Days is the largest outdoor rodeo of the West. They have bulls, they have horses, world-class concerts, and so much more. Mike, you were telling me that one of your favorite things is the connection from the Front Range to Cheyenne. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, that's how Cheyenne Frontier Days started 126 years ago. Was an agent from the UP Railroad trying to figure out, how can I sell train tickets from Denver up to Cheyenne? How about we throw a rodeo? It started as one day. Now we're, last full week of July, 9 PRCA rodeos, and, we're ready to kick things off.
Tell us a little bit about what it's like to be Miss Frontier.
Yeah, it's a really honoring position being Miss Frontier. I get to represent the greatest rodeo in the world. I get to talk to a lot of people, and the perks are awesome, of course.
So Riata Ranch is an actual school for trick riding and trick roping in the state of California. We specialize in bringing people to the ranch to teach them, yes, to trick ride and to rope, but mostly we just connect people to the Western lifestyle and to ranching and to professional rodeo.
And then from there, you're going to go to your feet. You're going to stand in the seat.
It feels like when they're shaking their head that it's an earthquake, but it's not.
It's not. Right. And then when you're ready, you're going to stand up nice and slowly.
Yay! You got it!
Woo! Woo! There we go.
Come out here and see all the fun for yourself at Cheyenne Frontier Days. It starts today, ends July 31st. We have all the details, schedule, parking information on our website, cbscolorado.com. In Cheyenne, I'm Mackenzie O'Keefe, covering Colorado First.
Here's a quick look at the lay of the land in Cheyenne. The concert stage rolls in at night. During the day, it's part of the rodeo. Frontier Park public parking is available for $25. Parking will be paid by credit card only. Access to the park via Warren Avenue or Carey Avenue. If you're headed there, you'll want to know where you can park. There is a park and ride available. It's $15 and just a quick 5-minute bus ride away. If you're headed north on I-25, take exit 10D to Happy Jack Road. The shuttle operates until 12:30 in the morning. It is high stakes for competitors, and we talked to one Colorado man who's hoping to both qualify and win for the second year in a row.
When tens of thousands of fans pack the Cheyenne Frontier Days Arena for the 126th Daddy of them all,
it's an event unlike any other.
But getting on the arena floor and into the competition isn't as easy as you may think. In the week leading up to the rodeo, hundreds of cowboys and cowgirls come through Cheyenne trying to qualify for the competition.
More than 170 different teams are trying to qualify for the team roping event alone, but only 72 will actually make the Cheyenne Frontier Day Rodeo. And when they do, man, these stands are going to be packed.
And it's fun to go compete on a high level against the best in the world.
Trey Yates, a native of Pueblo, Colorado, is looking to win the team roping event at Frontier Days for the second time.
I love competing. To get a piece of a win at especially an event like Cheyenne Frontier Days, it's a pretty amazing. It's an amazing deal.
Much like those in the stands, Frontier Days is a tradition for competitors like Yates as well.
I came to Cheyenne Frontier Days and I came and watched my granddad trip steers and team rope here. This is maybe one of the biggest events that takes place in the state of Wyoming.
Cowboys compete all summer long, but winning Frontier Days is a huge deal.
It's a bucket list win.
If the Daddy of them all is an annual event for your family, or if you've never been before, Yates and the team at Frontier Days hope to see you in Cheyenne.
If you have a chance to come check it out and spend a day and watch the rodeo and see all the vendors and go through the town, I think you ought to do it.
At Cheyenne Frontier Days, I'm Dylan Thomas.
Bull riding is one of the most exciting and insane events at the rodeo, and watching these bull riders hang on for dear life while staying on a bucking animal for 8 seconds is something you just can't miss. For the first time in the history of Cheyenne Frontier Days, we hosted our exclusive Xfinity Monday Live sports show right at the PBR Arena. Michael Spencer got to talk to bull riders and fighters about their risky competition.
Hello, everyone, and welcome into Xfinity Monday Live. We are live from Cheyenne Frontier Days as we get you set for the debut of the new PBR Team Series tonight. And joining me tonight from the Texas Rattlers, one of the guys who is going to be on a bull behind us this evening, Cody Jesus. Cody, how are you, man?
Good, yourself?
I am great, thank you. Appreciate you joining us. I tell you what, you were a first-round pick of the Texas Rattlers, and now here you are just a couple months after that first-round pick, really like less than a month. That was in late May.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So now here we are getting ready for the debut of the new team series. What are you most looking forward to in this new format?
Just having a coach to, pick out your ride and see what you're doing wrong and have teammates to help you, and you always gonna have the same guys be helping you on the chute, so I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be a whole lot of fun.
It's certainly different than what you guys are used to. Usually it's one rider, one bull, and you go from there, and it's pretty much every man for himself. But this team aspect is something that I've heard everybody talk a lot about. You mentioned that just now. What has that camaraderie been like with your teammates? Because you guys, as riders, are a close-knit group to begin with anyway. You travel a lot. You're at the same places doing the same events. And now these guys are your actual teammates. What has that experience been like for you?
It's been fun. We had a training camp in early June, and we all just got to hang out, get on bulls, work out together, and just really bond as a team. So when we come into the locker room, we're as one, and we're ready to go.
We're here at Cheyenne Frontier Days, and you've ridden here a couple times before. What is it about this event that you like so much?
I think it's just the history behind it. The great bull riders that came and rode here way before my time, and the bull riders that still keep coming here, and the fans are just, they're crazy. It's fun.
What do you know about your draw for tonight? And from your perspective, what goes into kind of scouting your draw, if you will, once you find out what bull you're going to be riding?
My draw tonight, he's a little black bull. Should be right there into my hand and back around the right towards the end of the whistle. So I went and scouted him out and looked for him, and just see how he's built, what he looks like, and make sure I got my rope put in on the right bull. So
now, we were talking a little bit about this earlier. What is a day like for Cody Jesus leading up to getting on the bull? Obviously, you know your draw, but for you personally, what do you try and do during the day to make sure you're ready to go when this arena is packed tonight?
I try to do the same thing every time. Wake up, get a light breakfast, have a light lunch, stretch a lot, and just mentally prepare myself. I try not to get too worked up about this bull riding, or I'll be drained out before the bull riding even starts. So I try to stay relaxed as possible.
You've been riding on the PBR circuit since 2018. How did you get into bull riding? I think that's one of the big questions that everybody kind of wants to know when they meet a bull rider. How do you get into a sport like this?
It was one of those weird deals where I grew up watching bull riding all the time when I was small, but I never really understood it or knew what it was. But I just ran cross country, and I wanted to be an Olympic runner, and one day that just changed. I don't know if I had a dream or what changed about it, but I wanted to be a bull rider, and since that day I went and set up a barrel and started riding that until I got on my first bull.
Okay, let me ask you this. How does training for a cross-country race compare to training to ride a bull?
I guess just kind of keep you in shape. I still like to run before I get on, kind of loosen up the muscles, but training for a bull, I realize it's way different. I got to be a little more in shape, lift a little bit more weights, and be a little more flexible.
Well, the Olympics may not be calling, at least not for cross country anytime soon, but good luck as you chase a championship this year with your Texas Rattlers team, man. We really appreciate the visit tonight.
I appreciate it.
Here on Xfinity Monday Live. Cody Jesus, nice enough to join us before he hops on a bull here at Cheyenne Frontier Days. Welcome back to Xfinity Monday Live here at Cheyenne Frontier Days, the daddy of them all, as we get you set for tonight's PBR Team Series, the debut of the new series. And joining me tonight is Keyshawn Whitehorse. Keyshawn, how you doing, man?
Oh, I'm doing excellent.
We appreciate you taking some time tonight. Let's talk about this new team series. Everybody is always all abuzz, rather, about this series and what it is going to be like. Obviously, its debut event tonight, something that's been in the works since 2007. As a rider, what are you most looking forward to?
Honestly, just the true competitive nature coming out. These guys are going to have a little teamship working, and then that's, that energy has nothing we really felt before besides the Global Cup. So coming here and having that type of energy come in from each team member wanting to ride so bad for each guy that's on your team and make sure that you give everything you got. That's what I'm really excited for.
How many times have you ridden in this arena behind me?
I want to say like 3 or 4 times. So I've been here a good amount of times, pretty comfortable.
What's the atmosphere like at Cheyenne Frontier Days, and what do you most look forward to when you have the opportunity to ride here?
Oh, the atmosphere here is completely insane. The stands are packed full to the top. All the fans love it. There's so much energy that the fans bring, and a lot of the times these fans know about bull riding.
Yeah.
They know how it works, and so they acknowledge a good ride when they see one. And when I come here, it's exciting. There's a lot of money to be on usually, and a lot more, just a lot more celebrations maybe.
Well, one of the things that I love about you and reading about you is you're so proud of your Native American heritage and bringing that to bull riding and exposing more people to that. Why is that so important for you to do as you continue to go throughout these events and kind of make your name here at PBR?
You know, I think the Native Americans have kind of put a big staple into the Western history, especially Western sports, rodeo athletes. You know, when it comes from roping to rough stock, you know, the Western way of life is just kind of like our way of life, and we really acknowledge it. So me being able to ride at a high level in the PBR and do things bull riding wise, I feel like it can bring hope and joy, and you know, maybe some promise to some of the younger youth ones, and then the older elders have something that they can be proud of.
I love that. And your team, the Ridge Riders, you guys are doing something really cool where you're taking some of what you do tonight and translating it to a good cause and donating some money to charity. Tell us about that.
Absolutely. It's like it's called Every Second Counts. So we donate to this charity every second. No matter we stay on, we buck off. The longer we stay on for 8 seconds, donate even more money. I believe you can maybe donate up to $300 for each 8-second ride or more, potentially. So be able to be part of a charitable cause, and you know, I think that's something special. That's beyond bull riding, and anything that can impact people beyond bull riding is something special to have.
I love that. I love that you guys are doing that for a good cause. I love the pride that you're bringing back to the Native American community. Keyshawn Whitehorse, our guest tonight here on Xfinity Monday Live. Stick around because we got some questions from the crowd coming up, including a Scooby-Doo backpack question from your youth.
No.
We're going to hit you on here tonight here on Xfinity Monday Live. A couple of guys who are in charge of wrangling the bulls as much as you can do that are with me here tonight. 2 of the bullfighters. We've got Lucas from Brazil, Jesse from Canada. Lucas, how does one get into bullfighting?
You know, at 13 years old, I wanted to ride bulls, and I ran into this guy that he was a bullfighter and kind of started hanging out around him, and that's pretty much, you know, like how I got into it.
Love it. Jesse, what's your story? How'd you get into it?
Well, I blame my dad. He made this all seem way too normal for me. When I was a child, I grew up going to rodeos and watching him as a bullfighter. So life consisted of rodeo and bull riding for me. And when I was finally old enough to give it a go myself, I was in it for good.
And a little bit of a hockey fan growing up, too, and an Avs fan. You and Josh Manson share a hometown.
That's right. Prince Albert, Saskatchewan. Josh Manson representing well with the Avs. Pretty excited to get a chance to see the Cup this summer. So
Love
awesome.
that. Lucas, when you come to Cheyenne Frontier Days, what is this atmosphere like for you guys and for the bull riders?
It's awesome to me. Like, it's my first year here in Cheyenne, you know, like I'm pretty excited to, you know, there's a lot of history here in this arena, you know, like just get to come here and work. It's awesome.
Can I ask you something? Do you have to be a little bit crazy to be a bullfighter?
That's what everybody say, you know, like, I don't know. It's, you know, you got to love it.
You're shaking your head, yes.
I know. I've never been bored at work, so I would say it's crazy to go to a job every day that you're bored
If
at.
you
That's
get
crazy.
bored at work, there's probably a problem, right?
So, yeah.
Let me ask you this real quick. Any bad injuries that you guys have had?
I've been really fortunate.
Knock on wood?
Yeah, knock on wood is right. But my list of injuries is pretty short compared to others. So I attribute that to great teammates. These guys
Lucas,
do a great
shout
job
out there.
of keeping each other safe as well.
You agree with that?
Yeah. And I haven't had much too, you know, like just torn some ligaments on the knee, you know, like that kind of stuff. But, you know, like for us, like get hurt, it's like really when you know, like it's hurt. Because we get sore, and then, you know, like every week, so it's,
well,
you know,
no major injuries.
Yeah.
Let's keep it that way tonight and for the rest of Cheyenne Frontier Days. All right, guys, we got to run. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight on Xfinity Monday Live.
Well, our mouths are watering talking about all the festival food on the menu. We're talking brisket, homemade cobbler, ribeye steak, and handmade rolls, and all the fix-ins. Dylan's back to show us what's on the menu.
When you hear Cheyenne Frontier Days, many automatically think of the rodeo, cowboys and cowgirls roping and racing, comfort food, and even the night shows. But Cheyenne Frontier Days prides itself on not only being the world's largest outdoor rodeo, but also a Western celebration like no other. And every year, we are reminded of that through the Chuck Wagon meals.
This Chuck Wagon meal is a tradition that we've had for many, many years. This is kind of the official kickoff for Cheyenne Frontier Days.
Ruth Ann Hubbard, parade's chairman for Cheyenne Frontier Days, loves everything about the Chuck Wagon traditions.
Our Chuck Wagon here is authentic and restored to the time period.
Frontier Days is the home of the world's largest collection of operating and authentic carriages. And each year, Frontier Days loves to cook up homemade meals out of some of those Chuck Wagons.
It's an authentic Chuck Wagon meal.
The best part about this meal is it's all authentic, and it's actually made in the cast iron skillets here in the middle of the field. Really that Western vibe.
Children and adults dressed in Western wear gather around and enjoy the meals as a way to kick off the daddy of them all.
This is what we live for. It is so much fun to get the community out.
So if you've never been to Frontier Days before or have only been to the arena for competitions, consider taking your family to Cheyenne and immerse yourselves in tradition.
It's a wonderful rodeo, but we're also a great Western celebration.
And we're not the only Coloradans who are making the trek north. Meet a mother from Lamar who is running circles around the competition. If you are heading out to Cheyenne, you can share your favorite memories with us. We also want to see your photos from Cheyenne Frontier Days past. Head to our CBS Colorado page and share your favorite memories. Cheyenne Frontier Days is a huge event that typically triples the population of the city for 10 days. And while there is a lot of excitement and fun, this year the rodeo has an even bigger goal: to break down the tough cowboy stigma and make sure everyone is addressing mental health needs. Our Karen Lee explains this year's Pickup Man initiative that's kicked off by country legend Garth Brooks.
This event reaches so many people. We were talking earlier, 1 million people came out here last year. That's triple the size of Cheyenne. So that gives you an idea of how many lives that this event touches. And we want to talk about that because this is something, while we're talking about all the fun events, there's also something we want to tap onto that's so important. And we talk about it a lot at our station: mental health. We want to talk about mental health and the new mental health initiative that has taken place out here. Come on in. Rick Shum is one of the board of directors out here. Fantastic guy. We appreciate you being with us and talking about this initiative. I'm just going to let you take it and start talking about it. Something really important taking place this year within the rodeo.
You bet. Well, thanks, Karen, and thanks for being here. And one of the things that, I think we realize is that the issue of mental health, suicide, it touches families across this country, and it touched the Cheyenne Frontier Days family like everybody else. So we began a discussion of, we can sit on the sidelines or we can try to do something. And what is it we can do? It's a rodeo and it's a Western celebration. So we decided that, one of our goals is to normalize the discussion of mental health and suicide. It's something that, hopefully with our campaign, we can get people talking about more. Take the stigma away from it, so that people can get the help. And so we started talking about what can we possibly do. And,
what will the campaign be, right?
Well, it's very interesting, and it kind of started with our CEO, Tom Hersig. One day he called me and 3 words. He said, "Pickup man." And I said, "Tom, you're going to have to give me more than that, pickup man." And he said, "Yeah, in our sport, pickup men are very important. In the rodeo arena, nobody would get on a bucking horse without a pickup man in the arena. So let's shape our campaign around the concept of be a pickup man, look for a pickup man." And so that's what we did. And we kind of needed a pickup man ourselves because we didn't know how to go about doing this. So we reached out to a very, very dear friend of Cheyenne Frontier Days who's been so generous to us over the last quarter of a century, Garth Brooks. And we talked to him about this campaign and gave him some of our thoughts. And lo and behold, he records a wonderful video. And we're going to play that video along with a little message about the new 988 number at every rodeo and every night show throughout the entire show. With our goal being, hopefully we can send some people away going, it's okay to talk about suicide. It's okay to talk about mental health and how we feel. We live in a cowboy culture, ruggedly independent. Well,
we need each other, don't we?
We need each other. We also live in the Western culture. When somebody needs help, the cowboy thing to do is stand up and give them help.
Pick each other up, right? Rick, we so appreciate you being here with us and sharing this such an important message. We're going to, of course, talk more with Rick as our time out here this week. But again, so important, a great message, and we really appreciate your time.
Thank you very much for what you do.
Well, she's a mom who not only likes to go to rodeos, she competes in them. Dylan introduces us to Shaylee Lord from Lamar, and she's at Cheyenne Frontier Days competing in professional barrel racing.
Throughout the year, rodeo contestants skip from city to city, with all roads leading to Cheyenne.
Well, Cheyenne Frontier Days is the biggest rodeo of the year.
Professional barrel racers like Shaylee Lord say none compare to Frontier Days.
Well, definitely here at Cheyenne, it's a rush to run barrels because the arena is huge and a lot of excitement.
But for Lord, a resident of Lamar, Colorado, even the roar of thousands of fans can't drown out her biggest, yet equally smallest fans.
Barrel racing, it's a family affair for us.
Lord is just one of many moms racing in the pro rodeo.
Not everybody has parents that do that. I think it's just special.
Her son Slade and daughter Steely love the rodeo almost as much as they love their mom.
I'm very proud of her. I'm normally cheering quite a bit.
They like to video and they yell and cheer me on, so it's really exciting to know that I have such great family support.
And the kids have a lot to cheer for. Shaylee was one of the top qualifying contestants going into the rodeo this year, setting an example for the next generation of barrel racers.
I just always want to do it, and because my mom is doing it.
Win or lose, the smallest fans in the stands have the loudest voices and the biggest hearts for the cowgirl they simply know as Mom.
I'm really proud of her because she works hard, and I love her. Watching her, this is really fun.
Well, the favorites for many people are the rodeo events, and Dylan Thomas is giving us another taste of what it's like to compete.
Cheyenne just has a wonderful feel about it. Not only is everybody kind and really welcoming here, they truly love their rodeo, but it's so historic as well.
Haley Kinzel is one of more than 100 barrel racers eyeing the prize at Frontier Days.
It means a whole lot to win the daddy of them all.
Unlike many, she would know.
So last year I was the champion here, so it's a very special rodeo to me.
Frontier Days is the world's largest outdoor rodeo.
Everything about Cheyenne Frontier Days is just larger than life. No matter how many times you come, you always forget how big it is until you're here.
The cowgirls that barrel race spend much of their year on the road, competing at rodeos of all sizes, but few compare to Frontier Days.
We get going and may not see home for 3-4 months at a time. This is one of the biggest we compete at all year.
The size of the arena means greater spacing between the barrels and fences, making it more challenging for the horses to identify the barrels.
The pattern is still 3 barrels in a triangle, so hopefully I can just channel my mind and my horse's mind to focus on that.
Kinzel said Frontier Days goes above and beyond to make sure the competition is safe for horses and their riders.
They have really stepped it up in the last couple of years here at Cheyenne about caring about the footing for the horses and making sure that the ground is not only safe but fair for all contestants running so that we can all have a good shot for our horses to perform. And that's most important to me.
Oh, you can tell Dylan has been working hard in Cheyenne, from interviewing contestants to featuring some incredible Air Force pilots. He shows us how the Thunderbirds prepare for one of their biggest shows.
Well, it is the 126th annual Cheyenne Frontier Days event and also the 75th anniversary of the United States Air Force. So what better way to combine the two than a celebration over Cheyenne with an air show?
Boss, welcome to Cheyenne.
This was our actual first air show that we did.
29er82.
This is where it all started for us.
Bring it on in.
It's incredibly special to our team because this has been part of our tradition and heritage and legacy since the very beginning of the team 69 years ago when the team started.
Flying just over thousands of people.
It's like being on the world's best roller coaster. We fly our rocket with wings.
The Air Force Thunderbirds have become a fixture of Cheyenne Frontier Days.
I'm here to see the Thunderbirds. Very cool and fun and loud.
Each year, some families, like the Hanlons, wake up before sunrise and drive several hours just for the show.
It's just amazing to watch them because you can go so high and do loop-de-loops. My favorite part has to be just seeing the tricks they do and when they make smoke trails.
Each time, more than 6,000 people attend the free air show, While it's a guaranteed blast for all,
we have a chance to give back to the community, and more importantly, we have a chance to inspire the next generation of airmen.
The kids are one of the best parts. A lot of us started by seeing a Thunderbird air show, and that's how we got here today.
In Cheyenne, Wyoming, I'm Dylan Thomas.
We hope you enjoyed Cheyenne Frontier Days as much as we have. And if you haven't gotten there, you still have some time. We encourage you to join in the fun. Frontier Days last through Sunday. You can always find information about parking, tickets, concerts, and rodeos at cbscolorado.com.